Yo, what's up, boys? Welcome to Never Lucky Fantasy Football. Ron J here. We're going to be talking about running backs that I think are going to increase in value next season. Look, there's another way, man. You don't have to keep donating your fantasy buy-ins to your league mates, man. It's time to start building, bro. Let's start actually having a real strategy in how we're going to approach Dynasty Fantasy Football. Either you win now or you rebuild for the next 2 years, right? I mean, in one of my dynasty leagues, bro, I've been rebuilding since I was born, dude. I basically came into this world already in rebuild mode, and I have not competed, man. So this season, I took a step back, and I'm like, all right, dude, there has to be another way. How do I really rebuild a dynasty team so that I can win in the next 2 years? What I decided to do is target running backs that I think are going to increase in value next season, right? I'm not looking for dudes that are going to pop this season. For example, I sold Devon Achane. Right, I sold Saquon Barkley. I sold some of my aging wide receivers who might only have a year or two left, just to make sure I get those like year 2, year 3 wide receivers for that next year or the year after that pop off. Right. So in this video we're going to be talking about running backs, as I mentioned. Let's get into the first name, and it's TreVeyon Henderson, man. So this dude's kind of been a mainstay in all of my videos. I'm talking about how I love him in redraft, I love him in dynasty. He's like the perfect 3-year character arc type of running back. So hopping quickly into his profile, man, we know that this dude's an athletic freak, and he's an absolute athlete, right? He was extremely productive in college. He averaged 7.1 yards per carry in 2024, had about 1,000 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. So he was very productive. Now, what I like about TreVeyon Henderson as like a fantastic play just in the long term is that he had 27 receptions for almost 284 yards. He's a very, very much a dual threat running back. And I think that's going to translate to the NFL, right? So he gets drafted by the Patriots, round 2, obviously, pick 38. This dude takes care of the ball, dude. He's very much like Patriot way type of running back. I don't think he had any fumbles in college. He might have had like one, if I recall correctly. So the dude's a very strong pass blocker. He's going to get onto the field, right? He's dynamic, he's fast, he takes care of the ball, and he can pass block like a mother, right? Like a mother effer. So this dude's got like a 3-down role in the cards, but at the very least, he's going to at least have a 3rd down role, whenever they're playing from behind, if they're in any type of hurry up. I do think Ramondre Stevenson's going to remain involved, and that's why I love him for like a dude to grab now so that he can be valuable for you next season, right? Or the year after that, right? I think Ramondre Stevenson's time is coming to a close. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson's just bad, bro. I know Mike Vrabel said that he's going to be a large part of what we do, but I don't trust Mike Vrabel. He's got a low reliability rating, according to Coach Speak Index. And I just don't like Ramondre Stevenson as a player, man. Like every season, his PFF grids have reduced. He had like an 81 PFF his rookie season, and then 81, then 71, then 69 last season. So he was not a good running back. He's not somebody that I think the Patriots are going to stick to. I mean, when Josh McDaniels, who's the current offensive coordinator for the Patriots, he was the old offensive coordinator for them back a couple seasons ago, right? When Ramondre Stevenson was a rookie. And Damian Harris was fucking starting over Ramondre Stevenson. Like, McDaniels didn't like him back then when he was actually a good running back. He actually had like an 81 PFF score. So McDaniels comes back and they draft TreVeyon Henderson with a 2nd-round pick, right? I think it's just going to be the TreVeyon show eventually. It could be as early as this season. And with that in mind, I do think by next season, he should be like a top 12 running back minimum, right? Minimum. And that's in redraft. That's in Dynasty, he's already a top 12, right? He's like I think he's ranked like, I think 8th at the moment in Dynasty, 8th or 9th or something like that. But yeah, man, he's somebody that I think is just going to continue to increase in value. He's somebody that I'll be targeting in every single format. Moving along now, we got Bhayshul Tuten. So Bhayshul Tuten is a little bit of a risky one because he is undersized. He is the perfect comp that I like to use for Bhayshul Tuten is he's like a Devon Achane. Extremely athletic. He had a 9.24 RAS score, which is like a relative athletic score. There's a website you can go to. You can look at all the athletic scores from like the college combine and basically just their college metrics, right? Their athleticism metrics. So he's like in the upper 90th percentile in 40-yard dash, 20-yard splits, 10-yard, vertical jump, broad jump. The dude's just an absolute athlete. Like 98th percentile speed score, 100th percentile 40-yard dash. As I mentioned, man, those stats, so those metrics are actually better than Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, very similar to Bijan Robinson. So athletically, he's on par with all of those guys. And he joins a backfield, right, which they're already a little bit unhappy with Travis Etienne, according to reports. Other reports have come out where the coaching staff said they have no intention to trade Etienne. He's going to be with them for now. But I think that's, that's got a shelf life. That's got an expiration date. I do imagine that Travis Etienne gets the boot eventually. They lean more into like a combination of maybe Bigsby and Bhayshul Tuten. We just need Bhayshul Tuten to pop off. We need him to show some fucking signs of life. And I think his value is going to just propel, right? And by next season, he should be at, similarly to TreVeyon Henderson, maybe with not the same type of allure because he doesn't have that draft capital. I can imagine him being like a top 20 running back, right? In redraft Dynasty, somebody that'll help us next season. So I'm going to be going out and trying to get him. He's got just elite tackle breaking, in space. He breaks tackles. He's got one of the better like college dominator scores. 10th in yards after the catch per attempt, so he actually can catch the ball. 8th in elusive rating. So I think he's going to be a mainstay in the committee, and he can even seize the lead role this season. I think if not this season, definitely next season. I just think he's got that like Bucky Irving type of trajectory, right? Because Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers last season when they had the Bucky Irving experience, he's now at Jacksonville, right? And he's now going to be, and one of the first things they do, or not one of the first things, but what they do in the draft is they go out and they get a Bhayshul Tuten. And I do think he sees him like that Bucky Irving type player. So I can just imagine like second half of the season, him popping off, and going into next season, his value is just going to double. So super excited about that, man. Next player on the list, this one's obvious, Omarion Hampton. I don't need to linger on this guy too much. 86th percentile score in 40-yard dash, 90 plus in speed, 90 plus in burst score. Dude is an athlete. He's the second ranked athlete in the RB class. So there's a reason, right? He's like the second ranked Dynasty running back. He's already very like fairly priced, right? He's going, he's like a top 6 running back in Dynasty based on, that changes based on who you're looking at. His comp is actually Jonathan Taylor. So we like that, right? We love a Jonathan Taylor comp. Now, Taylor's got a lot more straight line speed. Taylor's got that like breakaway running back speed. And Omarion Hampton has, I think, just enough for that breakaway type speed. And as you guys know, he's drafted in the first round, picked by the Chargers. Now, here's the fucking problem. Here's a little bit of a hiccup. He's got Najee Harris in front of him, right? And that's why I think his value is just going to double or increase by next season, because the Najee Harris experience is going to be exactly what we know it's going to be. He's going to be a plotter. He's not going to be explosive. He's going to be really just like a goal line guy. Give him like the hard yards, right? The inside the tackles type stuff. And Omarion Hampton's just going to eat into that, bro. He's just going to slowly take more and more work. They're going to be like, why do we keep giving the ball to Najee Harris? We're losing football games, or we're struggling in football games when we're keeping Omarion Hampton, who this coaching staff loves. They're keeping him on the bench, right? They're keeping him from being that like, high volume, absolutely just fantastically explosive, big play potential type running back. And they're going to see it, right? I view Najee Harris like the Gus Edwards to the Dobbins, right? And I think Omarion Hampton is the Dobbins in this equation, where eventually they're like, we just got to give Dobbins the work, man. He's just way better. So yeah, man, he's got the contact balance. He's got the tackle breaking. We don't need to talk about him too much. I mean, he's the second running back off the board, right, in the draft. So yeah, top 12 in yards after the catch per attempt, so you can actually catch the ball. Top 26 in elusiveness rating, so that's enough, right? Top 26 is okay. Yeah, I just think he's going to be an RB2 regardless of what happens, and by next season he should be like an RB1 easily, right? Potentially even like a top 5 pick. I mean, this Chargers team loves to run the ball. They're like a top, they're 28th in total pass attempts, so they don't really throw the ball. They really want to run the ball. They want to do it well, right? It's good. It's a Harbaugh mentality. So I just think, how often have we seen in the past a fucking, young, highly drafted running back come into a room where they just picked up a veteran or they just paid a veteran, and these dudes take over eventually, right? Like the amount of loyalty that they have to these old incumbents are very low, right? Because why would you draft a dude in the second round, or was it first round? I think, when was Hampton drafted? Yeah, first round, dude, at the 122. So at the 22nd pick in the first round. So We see it all the time, right? That's draft capital that they have to stick behind. They have to stand behind, right? And I think he's just going to take the job. And the next player on this list is going to be RJ Harvey. This one is also easy, also dominator in all athletic scores. 96 percentile 40-yard dash. He's got a little bit more straight line speed than Hampton. 91st percentile speed, 88th in bursts. He's the 7th ranked athletic running back in the draft class, so not bad, right? I mean, you guys are seeing like a common theme here, right? All these running backs are like athletic specimens, right? Like that seems to be the trend, right? Every team wants to get a guy who can run. They're not getting these slow, plodding, LeGarrette Blount style running backs anymore. It's these dudes that have breakaway speed. And RJ Harvey's no different, bro. This guy gets drafted to the Denver Broncos in the second round, but still decent. It was early in the second round. And he's got a clear path, man. He's got the clearest path probably in this class. Basically, he has Audric Estime, and Jaleel McLaughlin to contend with. That's it. And Sean Payton loves this dude, bro. I think I saw a picture of like Omarion Hampton with Sean Payton's daughter. They took like a selfie together. I mean, we won't get into that, but Omarion Hampton, dude, absolute stud. He's got like top 20 in breakaway percentage, so he breaks off runs for big chunk plays. Elusiveness rating also top 20. He lands in a Sean Payton system. They're ranked 1st and 5th in RB target share, bro. Just to put it in context, Javonte fucking Williams, dude, he had 70 targets, man. 70 targets on the season. The man averaged like 3 fantasy points a game or 7 fantasy points a game on 70 targets. Just insane. I don't know how the guy did so little with so much. But yeah, man, he's got RB2 potential this season. And RB1 upside as a rookie, and then going into next season, the sky is the limit for this man. I think he could easily be like a top 7 running back draft pick if he just stays healthy. If he takes over the backfield like he should, right? If he struggles to take over this backfield with Estime and McLaughlin, then it might be time to panic on RJ Harvey. But I don't think that's going to happen. Just Jaleel McLaughlin, nice little bursty, quick running back. Estime is literally just a guy. He's a jag completely. I don't imagine him having much of a role by the time the season ends, which positions RJ Harvey for a perfect takeover of this backfield. So next name on this list, this one's a little bit gross, but I had to dig deep, bro. I was knee deep in the sheets over here. Jaylen Wright, backup. I don't know if he's the fucking 2B or the 3B, but Jaylen Wright for the Miami Dolphins. Now, this dude is also an absolute athlete. So the Miami Dolphins drafted this guy last season, and 98th percentile 40-yard dash. So he ran a 4.38, dude. 96 percentile speed and a 94th percentile burst. The guy hits every metric. He was the 6th ranked RB in the 2024 class in terms of athleticism. So absolute athlete, and he's going to be competing with fucking hold your breath for this one, boys. Alexander fucking Madison, dude. Alexander Madison, and okay, they do draft Ollie Gordon, but I think it's going to be Devon Achane as the clear lead back with Jaylen Wright coming in, dude. I think Jaylen Wright was actually pretty underrated last season. So on a per carry efficiency rating, he had 5.9% explosive run rate, 18% missed tackle rate, according to fantasy points data. So not bad. That puts him, in the upper third for sure in the NFL, or puts him about in the middle. He was top 20 in yards after contact, man. So 3.5 yards after contact average, and he missed tackles and his missed tackles forced per attempt were 0.24. So he was in top 20 in both of those metrics, man. So somebody that I really like. In the 1 week where he got 10 plus attempts last season, he had an 87.9 PFF rating. So that was week 5 last season. They finally gave him a little bit of work. 87.9 PFF rating. They just kind of stuck with Achane regardless, right? Like the passing game wasn't working, and they really became a run team, and they just stuck with Achane, bro. Achane was getting receptions, he was getting rush attempts. They just would not go to Jaylen Wright. I don't know why. I think they're going to right that wrong this offseason. I think they're going to figure out that Devon Achane should be like a 15 touch guy, with someone like Jaylen Wright taking a bulk of the tough attempts, right? The between the tackle stuff, the first down stuff should go to a guy like Jaylen Wright. Not all of it, obviously, but they need to get this guy involved. And I think he's been there longer than Madison. He's been there longer than Ollie Gordon. He's extremely athletic. He has a nice size for a running back. So I do think he's going to end up being like the early down back for them. It's in their interest, right? And that's why I think his fucking value can really double this season. Like Devon Achane, dude, is liable for an injury anytime he steps onto the field. He's just so small, and he's taking big hits, dude. And he's already had some injury issues in his career, so I can just see Jaylen Wright having some value. If Devon Achane were to go down for the season, I think it's wheels up, dude. Wheels up for Jaylen Wright. I can imagine him being like a top 20 draft pick next season if something were to happen to Achane. Or if he just kind of, shows off and proves that he can be like a good early down back. I imagine us having a little bit of a Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane type situation, where if you guys look 2 seasons ago, both Mostert and Achane were both top 15 running backs in that season, with Mostert being like the RB3, right? Because he had like, I think 17 or 18 touchdowns or some crazy shit. He had one game where he had like 4 alone. So I think there's a lot to be excited about. I think when Miami were at their peak, they did have 2 productive running backs, and I can imagine them leaning on Jaylen Wright, right? So, right. So yeah, man, that's the video, bro. Hope you guys like it. Hope you enjoy it. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like. Hit me up with the subscribe if you like this stuff. If you want to catch more of it moving forward, I'm going to be creating content throughout the offseason. I'm going to be releasing Dynasty rankings very soon, so stay tuned for that. You'll see it in the Patreon. It's for free to sign up. You can catch my Dynasty rankings. Anyway, man, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.